Tires, start your engines!
Tuning up your work week. It's MRN Motorsports Monday, presented by Outback Steakhouse and brought to you by Hercules Tires and Grunt Style Apparel. Now, here are two guys that just can't part with their combs. It's Cain and Joey Meier.
For the record, I parted with my comb years ago, and I think you would agree with that. We don't often agree, but on that we do. Welcome to MRN Motorsports Monday, taking a look back at what happened at Dover over the weekend, the Monster Mile, and looking ahead at Kansas Speedway coming up this weekend. Joey, a big week at the Monster Mile, as we mentioned. And first, Kevin Harvick, another top 10. He is costing Outback Steakhouse a lot of bloomin' onions.
Yeah, not only a top 10.
The win.
A big win.
Yeah.
He's home playing with his Joey, too, I bet.
I'm betting probably not, but that's another story.
Joey.
When we went into this weekend, one of the storylines was this had been a Jimmy Johnson track, a Chevrolet track with a little Toyota mixed in, and the Fords, historically, over the past decade or so, hadn't done that well at Dover. This was different. Why?
The Fords from the Stewart-Haas camp are clearly above the rest of the field. Second, right below that, I believe, are the Gibbs Toyotas. And then you have everybody else. Realistically, the Penske cars and the Hendrick cars and the Roush cars and whoever else you want to talk about, they're all, like if you took Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch out of this race, it was a really good race.
Mm-hmm. Well, Kyle left early, not of his doing.
Right, no, but he performed really well. He
did.
Performed really well. But what you had really a couple of cars that were heads and tails above the rest. And what you did was you saw the dominance that we had with the entire Stewart-Haas camp. All four of those cars ran realistically top 10 all afternoon. Kevin was the premier driver over there, and he dominated the race. Brad Keselowski ran pretty well, but once Kevin caught him, you saw how he was able to kind of hunt him down and get by him later on.
Absolutely, he was. Let's hear from Kevin Harvick after his big victory at Dover.
I felt like we had a really good car from the time we unloaded. I think you could tell that from where we qualified. That's usually not my strong point, qualifying up here, and to be able to qualify on the front row. And we had just 3 great practices, and everything just kind of fell into place. And when they dropped the green flag, it was definitely still good. So it was just one of those weekends where the car was spot on from the time we got here, and the guys are just doing a great job. Everybody is just so detail oriented right now, and I feel like we're playoff racing on a weekly basis, and if you're going to win a bunch of races, that's what you have to do.
And they certainly have won a bunch of races, 4 to date on the season, 3 for Kyle Busch, so 7 of the races won by just those 2 guys. Don't forget now, you can get that race-winning die-cast of Kevin Harvick's car, the win at Dover, as well as all the race-winning die-casts, and even more of those are available at PlanBSales.com. All the cars you could ever want, they've got them at Plan B Sales, and they've got the winner every single week. We thank them for helping us out here on MRN Motorsports Monday. Check them out if you're into the die-cast version. So where do we go from here, Joey? Is it Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch head and shoulders above everybody else so far this season, or are the others making gains?
If you're those 2 teams, you feel like you have your season accomplished. It's your 2018 is clearly defined by how your performance has been so far. If you're not one of them, what you have to remember is the peak of the mountain is very narrow, and the only place they can do is go down, right? Sometimes in the effort to get better, you fall off the top of the mountain. In your effort to get better and you're not on the top of the mountain, you still have room to climb. So it's a very slippery slope when teams are trying to get better that are already better. And we hear this mostly in the playoffs, but what we're saying is, are they peaking too soon?
Yeah.
And that's what they have to be aware of, because they don't want to continue doing the same thing that they're doing now, even though it's working. They're always looking to get better. And that's sometimes where you fall off the top of the mountain early in the season if you're trying to get better, and sometimes you lose a little bit of speed, and other teams find it. It's still a building year. The Camaros, I'm telling you, they're going to find, they didn't build this car by we're just going to build a car. There was a lot of technology that went into building the ZL1 Camaro because Chevrolet has interest in selling these Camaros. If it's not performing well, Chevrolet's not happy, so they're involved. And they're going to make this Camaro. We've seen the Chase Elliott's. Really, Jimmy Johnson really surprised me. But we can't overlook the fact that he wasn't running 20th. He ran 3rd to 9th in that window, which is a lot better than he was earlier in the season where he was outside the top 10. But we see a little bit at a time, a little bit. Those guys are chugging, little engine that could.
Yeah. And let's don't forget that last year with the new Camry coming in for Toyota, it was about mid-year until Truex and Kyle Busch and those guys really caught fire. So we're not to that point yet time-wise in the season with the new Camaro.
And when NASCAR took those cars for the wind tunnel a little while ago, they didn't see any drastic numbers that showed how bad the Camaro was. Everything was within reason of understanding who's been working on what car. And there's no panic yet in the Camaros because they're still getting better every week, week in and week out.
All right, we've got a big show for you on Motorsports Monday. On Track, Off Track is coming up where we talk about some things going well and some things not going quite so well. Don't forget to go to Outback Steakhouse. Get your free
Bloomin' Onion.
Free Bloomin' Onion because Kevin Harvick got another top 10 finish and, in fact, the victory at Dover. Stick around, everyone.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that onion to bloom and it get in my senses like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So bold, so nice. And I'm so ready for that Outback steak tonight. Outback Steakhouse, that's what it's all about. Outback Steakhouse. Blooming great.
Chris Crockett here with young members of our Toyota racing family.
Hi!
I heard you want to be drivers one day.
Yeah!
Want to be as fast as Hamlin?
Just like him!
Matt, what about you?
No thanks, I'm faster.
Faster than Hamlin?
Hamlin, Busch, Suarez, Jones, even Truex Jr. Did I say something funny?
No.
I can take them any day.
Okay.
Anytime.
Got it, kid.
Any track.
Uh-huh.
Any weather.
Oh, boy. NASCAR and Toyota Racing. With a family like this, who knows the places we'll go this season? Learn more at toyotaracing.com. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc.
Race fans, you may not wear a fire suit when you get behind the wheel of your car, but getting back on the road fast is still important. That's why there's AAA, the nation's leading roadside assistance provider. With more than 50,000 service vehicles nationwide, it's no wonder they get to you 15 minutes faster than other roadside service providers. Think of them as the pit crew that goes everywhere with you, 24/7, 365. Keep you and your car on track with AAA. Visit AAA.com/racefan.
15-minute faster arrival time is an average based on 2013 to 2016 AAA U.S. Market Track National Surveys.
Here's Kevin Harvick back into the banking of turns 1 and 2. He hasn't wavered ever since the restart. To the bottom of the racetrack he'll go, and up the back straightaway. Here he comes now off the end of the backstretch into turn number 3. Very easily, very gently back into the corner.
He blew the field away yet again, this time here at the Dover International Speedway. Off turn 4, he sees the checkered flag, and for the 41st time in his career, Kevin Harvick is a winner yet again as he picks up the victory in the AAA 400 Drive for Autism.
Kevin Harvick was freaky fast. 4th victory of the season. You heard Mike Bagley and Jeff Striegel on the call from the Motor Racing Network on Sunday, and he really has it going on this season so far. Don't forget to pick up that free Bloomin' Onion Monday, Bloomin' Monday at Outback Steakhouse because Kevin Harvick got another top 10 finish.
Just
but he had a
don't play with your Joey at the Outback.
No,
you can't.
No, stop it.
That's for different times.
Now, this isn't the first time Kevin Harvick has won at Dover. He does have another Miles the Monster trophy, but he discussed something that may have gone a little awry with that trophy. Let's check it out.
So Miles is pretty popular, as you can imagine, with the kids, and so we took the first one that we won. We took it home and put it in his playroom, and I said, you can keep it in your playroom. So first day I came home and he had the arm broken half off of the thing. So when I talked to him after the race, he said, "Dad, you bringing that trophy home?" I said, "I'm bringing it home, but do not break the arm off of this one." So I have no idea how he broke it, but it is hollow. So he must have landed on it or hit something with it.
Where are you going to put this one so he doesn't break it?
I'm sorry?
Where are you going to put this one so he doesn't break it?
Oh, he can break it. It's fine.
Kevin Harvick talking about his son Keelan, and I guess Rodney Childers, the crew chief, had an appointment there because he kind of waves and exits.
Yeah, who's the old guy next to him?
I don't know. Tony Stewart is living large right now. Stewart Haas Racing doing very well. 4 wins for Kevin Harvick. Another victory for Clint Boyer. Eric Almirola has been running very consistently, and Kurt Busch feels like he's right on the cusp as well.
When we go to the Dover Monster Mile Speedway, it's all concrete, it's a mile, but it's one of the unique trophies of the industry. They've had it for a number of years. I was very fortunate to win Martin Truex's first win in 2007. He bought everybody a replica trophy. When Brad Keselowski won in 2000.
Did somebody break yours?
No. Mine's stored. Mine's stored. It's very safe. When Brad Keselowski and we won in 2012, I believe he bought the team trophies. And that's unusual. You don't buy the team trophies just for a win. But the Monster Mile, Martinsville's, Daytona, certain tracks have the unique ability to have those really, really cool trophies. And we're fortunate enough to have two of them from two different drivers. But you see the essence. These drivers take those trophies home, and they really do appreciate them.
Outstanding weekend at Dover all the way around, particularly for Stewart-Haas Racing. Let's talk a little on-track, off-track now, some things that are going well in the sport and some things that maybe aren't going quite so well. Let's start with on-track. What's doing it for you right now?
You know, we are in the beginning of May, and, you know, the season takes really a long time from February to the week before Thanksgiving, essentially. We're in our 5th race of the Truck Series, and it was a triple header at Dover. If you had the ability to show up, and there were, a lot of campers at the Dover Speedway. The weather was fairly decent, no major changes with rain and wind. It was an okay weekend. But the triple header, you had practice for the Xfinity and Cup Series on Friday, and qualifying for the Cup Series, and a truck race on Friday. You had Cup practice on Saturday, and then the Xfinity race, and what a finish for that was.
Yeah.
Side by side, coming to a dash for cash.
Both the truck and Xfinity series.
And then you got to see a Sunday race, the triple header weekend over a 3-day period. Man, I remember as a kid going to the Daytona, I was fortunate. It was a weekend event, but what a great opportunity to see 3 showcase races with great racing, with Johnny Sauter winning the Truck Series, Justin Allgaier dash for cash, Kevin Harvick stomping a mud hole in the field on Sunday. But just the triple header weekends are really, really fun to watch, and I applaud those kind of events.
Good value where you can, particularly early in the weekend, see all 3 series on track in the same day. We've got a lot more of that coming up through the rest of the season. For me, on track, we had the final Xfinity Dash for Cash race on Saturday. Justin Allgaier wins it in a thrilling battle with his teammate. They're banging doors coming to the checkered flag there. Junior Motorsports gets 3 of those Dash for Cash $100,000 checks, but we've heard fans clamoring for a long time about getting some of the Cup guys out of these Xfinity Series races. We had a 4-race stretch where there were no Cup guys in the field. They put on great shows. We're going to see that again when we get to the playoffs because no Cup guys will be eligible to run those races. But we saw a lot of activity there. Spencer Gallagher got a win. Junior Motorsports did very well. We saw Ryan Preece have a big win at Bristol in this series. Noah Gragson was able to get some seat time with Joe Gibbs Racing and did very well. He had some drama over the weekend as well and put on a really good show. I just think they've been a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it took the Xfinity Series a couple of races, or a couple of seasons, if I will, to get a hold of the Dash for Cash and how to make it important. And for 2018, we clearly saw by removing the Cup guys and having 4 races in a row really ramped up the intensity of the Dash for Cash. Now we're going to go back into a little bit of a swing here through the summer before those last 7 playoff races, and we're going to see an intermix and a little mingling of the Cup guys in certain races, which I think is really healthy for the sport financially. I understand the racing for the Xfinity guys only produces a better race, but when you have the Cup guys in, it does bring financial responsibility with that to allow those other guys to race.
And that's something.
The Dash for Cash is really a good program.
It really worked well. This was the best year of it, I'd say, competition-wise by far. But this brings up another point. If you remove the Cup guys from the Xfinity Series entirely, does that mean we have a situation where Junior Motorsports is dominating the series and then people squawk about that? And, well, we got to do something about Junior Motorsports. I mean, right now, look, Justin Allgaier wins the race. He, Elliott Sadler, and Tyler Reddick are 1, 2, 3 in the standings right now. So they are pretty much having it going on from the Xfinity Series regular standpoint.
Yeah, we just got to be careful. We don't want to cut our nose off to spite our face. It's a very delicate situation. I saw numerous polls over this weekend about Cup guys only, no Cup guys, Xfinity guys only, and realistically it's a split. I was looking at, we need to have a couple of races with Cup guys, and we need to have several races with just Xfinity guys. It's a balance there. We don't need to cut off one person's leg to try to balance the other one out. I believe NASCAR right now, this year, shows it's a very good balance.
Finding the number is always that challenge. All right, let's talk a little off track, some things that aren't going quite so well in the sport. What do you got?
You know, social media, if you may have heard of it, you can tweet something and everybody sees it. It's kind of cool. Yep. So this guy that used to be a race car driver, he's doing some TV now. His name's Dale Jr.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Yep. So he tweeted a picture of Dover Speedway. It was really cool, back in the throwback Speedway of Dover, 1970s. It's the same garages that we have now. The same garages, guys. Let's get a program to improve the work environment for our Cup guys. We can't walk across the track during activity, which makes sense. You don't want to have to dodge pedestrians. Most of our tracks.
Well, you've got the bridge on the backside.
On the backside, but the front side of the track is very important, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to have to walk around a mile track to get to the bridge. We need to have bridges or tunnels at these tracks. Let's try making about some improvements to Dover Speedway. I want to be there for a number of years. It's a great racing facility. They've done a great job. It wasn't concrete all the time, so they put a bunch of money into that. So I want to make some improvements.
It's the oldest surface on the circuit, by the way.
Concrete. That's why it was there, because the asphalt at the time, the technology didn't exist to produce a long-lasting asphalt surface.
Mm-hmm.
So that concrete was the new wave. Oh, we're going to be smart. It creates a little bit unique. And we saw earlier that Kevin Harvick video, you clearly could see the different layers of rubber and how it was laying. A very cool in-car shot. If you don't remember it, go back and look at that video of Kevin Harvick coming to the checkered flag, and you can see multiple layers of rubber that these drivers are dealing with.
I hate to do it, but I'm going to have to agree with you. At a time when we see the massive renovation at Daytona, we see redesign projects going on at Phoenix and at Richmond. We've seen the SMI tracks put some money in there. Texas Motor Speedway comes to mind. A lot of the stuff that they've done. It's becoming expected that you have a lot more of these amenities now, and I think hopefully Dover will get on that bandwagon as well.
This just in. He agrees with me.
Yeah, I know. I'm hating myself already, but I had to do it. All right, another break on Motorsports Monday. We've got a lot more ahead. We're going to look to Kansas coming up.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there. Whether you're running on dirt or running a job, our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, right on our strength.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that onion to bloom, and it get in my senses like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So bold, so nice, and I'm so ready for that Outback steak tonight. Outback Steakhouse, that's what it's all about. Outback Steakhouse, blooming great.
Grunt Style. The American fighting spirit is in everything we make. We are 500 patriots and veterans strong, bringing clothing manufacturing back to the United States of America. Always moving forward, never retreating, never giving up. We are Grunt Style, and this we'll defend. Get yours at gruntstyle.com or on the track this week at Kansas Speedway.
Elliott Sadler on the inside. What a run Sadler has. Slides up right on the back bumper of Justin Allgaier. Final trip down the backstretch. Final time diving into turn number 3. Lap traffic ahead. Sadler challenging.
Here comes Elliott Sadler. He'll dive to the inside. He'll body slam Allgaier coming off the corner. The car skate wide. They keep it off the fence, and it's Allgaier to the line, and he'll win the One Main Financial 200 in Dover. Oh my, what a finish here at Dover International Speedway.
That's how it sounded Saturday on the Motor Racing Network. Steve Post and Mike Bagley on the call there. And I don't know how, even looking back at the replay, how they didn't wreck.
No, that was intense. Between teammates, between two guys that are fighting for 100,000, they were able to race that monster all day long and come down to the wire. Elliott got to the inside of Justin. You got to give him credit. He gave it all he got, and we clearly see the effort there. They're first and second, not only in the season standings but also in the race.
Justin Allgaier spoke after Victory Lane on Saturday for winning the big check and the race.
I didn't know what to think. You know, obviously we've got 4 great cars at Junior Motorsports. They just talked about it. I'm sure Elliott talked about it. You know, our team right now has just been amazing. And coming down to the end of the race, you know, I could see Elliott in my mirror. I knew when he would cool his tires down a little bit that he was able to make some runs. And, you know, for me, my spotter, Eddie DeHunt, did a great job of kind of giving me an update on, you know, what lanes were working for him. And for us, if I could just stall the air out in front of him, it seemed like it helped us out a lot. Just absolutely incredible. You know, Rick Brandt was here, Brandt Professional Agriculture. And he always tells me, you know, cause a party, let's go to Victory Lane. And we did that today. And to be able to do that and then also win the Xfinity Series Dash for Cash, absolutely incredible. You know what Xfinity and Comcast do for this sport is unparalleled in any other sport, and for us, you know, to be able to take that home, to battle it out with a teammate, just really special.
10th different winner this season, 104 laps led for Justin Allgaier. He's second in the standings overall after winning at the Monster Mile, but his car owner looks a little different.
Yeah, that wasn't Kelly Earnhardt Miller.
Oh, it wasn't.
No, that
Okay,
was actually
okay.
Monster. See, Kevin Harvick looked like he had a different trophy next to him, but that was really Tony Stewart.
That was really Tony Stewart.
That was Tony Stewart.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's not Kelly Earnhardt Miller.
I wanted to ask you about something he mentioned there about stalling the air out on Elliott Sadler. What's he mean?
So these cars have become so aero dependent that when you're open, when you're by yourself, you have the 100% air coming on that car. When you pull and you can maneuver your car to get in front of somebody, you take the air off his car and it now becomes less, it doesn't handle as good. As simple as that. You're stalling, you're using up his air, and consequently he caught you, but now you're using up his air, and he better find a different way around you.
Absolutely, and it looks like the Xfinity Series now going to be off until Charlotte. The trucks and the Cup cars go to Kansas Speedway Friday night, 8 o'clock, the Camping World 250. Saturday night, the KC Masterpiece 400, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. What a great fit that is. KC Masterpiece Barbecue Sauce sponsoring the race at Kansas Speedway.
Yeah, who saw that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a match made in heaven.
I want to give a quick shout out to somebody that's really been under the radar here a little bit. Quick shout out to Daniel Hemrick over at Richard Childress Racing. Those guys, you talk about being on the cusp. We've seen drivers that have been able to break out a season. Noah Gragson comes to mind right away, the Ryan Preeces of the world. Daniel Hemrick is right there every week, week in and week out. He's eliminated some of his mistakes. We talked to him earlier this year about we knew how to make it better, kind of like Tyler Reddick. If I quit speeding on pit road and hitting the wall, I'm going to run really good. Tyler Reddick ran pretty good yesterday at Dover. Daniel Hemrick is right there, man. Keep digging. You guys are going to do good. And again, another young guy. Doesn't really have the R next to his name as we saw last year. He's in his sophomore season.
Yeah, he's run too many races, yeah.
Yep, it was sophomore season for those guys, but he's right there, sitting fifth in points overall and had a great third-place run at Dover.
Yeah, he did. They really do have it going on. Christopher Bell, the other guy we mentioned, two rookies, third and fourth in the standings, Reddick and Bell challenging there, and Christopher Bell as having a strong season as he continues as well. So let's take a little look ahead at Kansas. What can we expect there? The Xfinity Series is off. The trucks are going to go there, and the Friday and Saturday night racing at Kansas.
So 2010, 11, and 12, the place was really rough. They came in and repaved it, and it was a standard single groove bottom lane repave. It was kind of boring. Every time Brad Keselowski won, there was a joke for a while in 11 and 12. They either shut the track down or they repaved it. And Kansas was one of those places. We won in 11 or 12, they repaved it. Now the place is starting to experience growth and aging process. It's really starting to get wide. It is your standard 1.5 miles, but the track is really widening out, and we like that. We have a little bit of fall off no matter what series you're in. We have a little bit of moving around that offers good racing. Kansas provides good opportunities. We got the big stadium right there, the casino out back, and Kansas City.
It's a great place to hang out. Yeah, we were there one time when the American Royal, the big barbecue contest was going on, and that was cool.
Yeah, but KC Masterpiece, like you said, is the sponsorship. Great barbecue, fantastic, right there in the center of the country. Another good opportunity to come see two great races.
I remember a while back when Kyle Busch couldn't get out of his own way at Kansas, and now he seems to have gotten the hang of that place a little bit better. What's going on there?
You know, it's just a matter of realistically, certain drivers put pressure on themselves to perform at a higher level at certain tracks. We see Carl Edwards and Clint Boyer both claim that as their home track. What you have, Brad Keselowski at Michigan, they put extra pressure on it, and sometimes that pressure really hurts you. And we saw that for a little while with Kyle Busch, but I think if he keeps it up, he'll be an okay driver.
I think he will be okay. We got to take another break here on MRN Motorsports Monday, but we want to remind you of something coming up at Daytona on Memorial Day weekend. It's the Country 500 Music Festival. The single-day tickets are on sale now. This is May 25th through the 27th. Listen to this list: Toby Keith, Chris Stapleton, Dierks Bentley, Sugarland, Billy Currington, and a whole lot more. Visit country500.com to get more information and find out how you can get the best tickets available. That's going to be a heck of a show. We've got one more segment on Motorsports Monday. We're going to talk a little more Kansas and a little truck racing when we come back.
Chris Crockett here with young members of our Toyota racing family.
Hi.
I heard you want to be drivers one day.
Yeah.
Want to be as fast as Hamlin?
Just like him.
Matt, what about you?
No thanks. I'm faster.
Faster than Hamlin?
Hamlin, Busch, Suarez, Jones, even Truex Jr. Did I say something funny?
No.
I can take them any day.
Okay.
Anytime.
Got it, kid.
Any track.
Uh-huh.
Any weather.
Oh, boy. NASCAR and Toyota Racing. With a family like this, who knows the places we'll go this season? Learn more at ToyotaRacing.com. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that onion to bloom, and it get in my senses like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So bold, so nice, and I'm so ready for that Outback steak tonight. Outback Steakhouse, that's what it's all about. Outback Steakhouse. Blooming great!
Are you a serious diecast collector? Do you have a favorite driver? Are you looking for a gift for a race fan? No matter what the question, the answer is always PlanBSales.com. Plan B has all the latest in diecast from Lionel and apparel, artwork, and other items for your favorite driver in NASCAR or other forms of racing. Go to PlanBSales.com, key your driver's name in the handy search window, and look at all the options. Your one stop for diecast and other motorsports collectibles is PlanBSales.com.
1 mile to go in the Jegs 200. Johnny Sauter starts to tiptoe away from the field.
Yeah, he's got about a 4-truck length advantage now over Matt Crafton. Then it's 2 more back to Justin Haley and David Gilliland. Top 4 breakaway up front, but it's all Johnny Sauter as he guides that Allegiant Chevrolet into turn number 3 and 4. Smooth sailing for the 21.
Sauter rolls off from turn number 4 down across the stripe for the 19th time in his career and the second time in a row here at Dover. Johnny Sauter wins the Jegs 200 here at the Monster Mile.
Seeker Resorts, GMS Fab, Jegs, all the people that help GMS Racing out. I couldn't be more proud to win this race in the fashion that we did, and then to have a couple eventful late race restarts. Obviously, Noah there, he came over in victory lane and said it was totally on him, so that's cool. I had a good run on him off of turn 2, and he chopped me, and I said, well, that gives me the green light to be as aggressive as I want to be, and got into him a little bit. Tried to, rattle him a little bit, and I felt like it worked. And then I don't know what happened on the backstretch. I was just holding my line. I knew that we had the preferred groove, and we're going to be able to carry the momentum. We're just so fast on a long run. I couldn't be more proud of Joe and all these guys, the pit crew today. Just that was an awesome race, and this is such a cool place to race at. This is when you can tame this place, you feel like you've done something. So 2 years in a row, back-to-back wins. Much faster truck this year than last year. I'm pumped. Turned 40 this week, and to have an opportunity to drive stuff like this, it's just, not many guys get this opportunity, and I just want the Gallagher family and Beam and everybody to know how much I appreciate it.
Johnny Sauter and his crew chief Joe Shear Jr. there after his second victory of the season. He extends his point lead. He has a 51-point margin now over Ben Rhodes. But, boy, that part he mentioned, we didn't see it in the last lap there because that was overtime. He and Noah Gragson, a whale of a battle. And say what you want, that's the epitome of a guy racing for the win and not settling for a good points day, what Noah Gragson did.
100%. And I was corrected last week because I wasn't pronouncing the G hard enough. It's Gregson. Gregson.
You've been practicing it, sounds
Gregson,
like.
not Grayson.
Is that what you do in the mirror at home? Is kind of practice?
Gregson. Yes, exactly right.
There you go.
But what you saw was side-by-side battling with a youngster versus a veteran. He was able to get into Noah Gregson's head and really manipulate him and get him trying extra hard. Gregson's mistake was trying extra hard. He was doing well enough. He ended up getting into Johnny's.
But isn't that what fans want to see?
Absolutely. We end up spinning out sideways, and we go wreck Tiv's day, and it didn't turn out as good as it should have been because it really hurt that truck from finishing the race. But then him and his old teammate, Matt Crafton, up from Thor Sport, and now Sauter's over there at GMS. They're racing different manufacturers. They were able to put on a decent overtime finish for Dover, and like you said, that's two races in a row, where last year he held off a charging, I want to say Kaz Grella possibly, but they had the truck behind him had a faster truck, and Johnny was able to out-veteran him in that race as well. So that's 2 races in a row for Johnny and those guys. Good for him.
Out-veteraned him. I like that. Sometimes experience pays off, and all this talk about the young up-and-coming guys. We've got Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch winning a lot of the Cup races. We've got Elliott Sadler doing well in the Xfinity Series, and Johnny Sauter doing super well in the Truck Series.
Yeah, we can't overlook the veteran experience. You know, the youthful enthusiasm in this sport is fantastic. Clearly, you see the points right now. You got Johnny Sauter, who is a seasoned veteran. Ben Rhodes, a youngster. Noah Gregson's a youngster. Brett Moffitt, Grant Enfinger, Matt Crafton, again a veteran. So you got two in the top 6 have experience over the youthful and enthusiasm. But now we get to go to Kansas, and again, hasn't seen a Chevrolet win, but once in the last 4 or 5 races there at Kansas. Truex won 2 in a row. The last Chevrolet to win was Harvick. He's not into Chevrolet anymore. And then we have to go back to 2015 with Jimmy winning in his Chevrolet. So again, those guys are getting their turn around, but I honestly expect to see either Stewart-Haas or Gibbs in victory lane after Sunday's event.
All right, for a preview of the upcoming KC Masterpiece 400, let's hear from Chris Buescher from JTG Doherty Racing. From a lot of folks, I think, have the perception that all the mile and a halves are the same. How is Kansas unique compared to some of the others? In the way it drives.
Yeah, you know, the mile and a halves are all different in their own ways. You know, there's no two that are the same at the end of the day. I mean, there's definitely some that have their similarities, and you know, Kansas. You know, I don't know what it is about that place that's different to me, but you know, it just seems like it's you know, a little bit smoother. You know, the grip is still up right now, but it's definitely going away. You know, our aero package has changed, you know, the last couple of times I've been there, so still trying to get a feel for it and see where exactly we're going to be this year. But, you know, it's just a place that has a good, you know, smooth racing line around there without some of the real choppiness that you get at some of these other places that makes stuff hard to race or hard to get a handle on.
So he talks about the smoothness of the racing surface overall. You mentioned that it's starting to age a little bit and give guys the opportunity to get off that bottom groove.
Yep. So what we had at Kansas is the simple fact that the bottom line used to be very bumpy, and guys that could grab a hold of that very good were fast. But now we repaved it, so we have a bottom lane that was really fast, and it's the fastest way around. But now that bottom lane is losing a little grip simply because 40 cars have been using it. Now it's going to be widened out because you do gain the advantage of going around a longer track in the corner, but it's a little bit faster with more grip. So that's that balance that we're talking about the entire time there at Kansas.
It's going to be fun to watch. Remember now, the Xfinity Series is going to be off until we come back to Charlotte. They had a test this week at Charlotte Motor Speedway, an open test session.
Going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. This is on a Monday. Don't forget to get your free Bloomin' Onion at Outback Steakhouse because another top 10 finish, and including the win by Kevin Harvick along the way. Big schedule coming up on MRN this week. NASCAR Live comes your way every Tuesday night at 7 Eastern Time with Mike Bagley, your host. Friday, we've got qualifying for the Cup cars from Kansas at 6:30. Friday night, the Camping World 250 and the Truck Series at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Then on Saturday, the KC Masterpiece 400, 7 o'clock Saturday night at Kansas. We'll have all the action for you at MRN.com. Check it out there. Joey and I will be right back here next Monday for another edition of MRN Motorsports Monday. Make sure you're here as well.
Go play with your Joey.